Good afternoon, dear beloved friends from all over the globe. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Could you please unmute yourself and say a word that express how you feel right now in your favorite language?
Happy.
Joyful.
Content. Grateful.
Content.
Excited.
Happy.
Excited.
Grateful.
Grateful.
Wunderbar.
Happy.
I am also very restful. I hope you all are doing well. Sister Đính will join me very soon in about a few minutes. It's nice to see you all again. May I ask who here joined us for the first time? Could you raise your hand? Wonderful. Oh, we have at least 4 or 5 today. Thank you for spending your Thursday afternoon with us. It's nice to have new faces as always, and also to see faces that come here often, months after months, weeks after weeks, and for some of you, year after year. We are always happy to have more people joining us. And this last few months, I see that the number of participants that join us has been around 40, which is pretty nice. You know, to me, the age 40 is an age of awakening. I'm turning 40 next year. And I look forward to see what awakening I will have. Who here are looking forward to turning 40? Can you raise your hand? Yay! Wonderful. I'm not the only one. Yes. You know, it's funny that when we share with people, oh, I'm in my 30s, we sound young, don't we? But if we share with people, oh, I'm in my 40s, there you go. It's starting to feel old already. Hopefully, we continue to keep our spirit young, even if we are turning 40, because I know that there are many of friends in here in their 50s and 60s, and they're very young at heart. And that's why you come here. I think people who come to our session are very young, which means you are very open to learn what is new, what is different, or what you already know. And that is what keeping us young. This is what our teacher often tells us, to keep a heart young and a mind young by being open to learn. And I think young people, we love to sing. I hope you too. And so perhaps we can sing a few songs just to feel the joy, the peace, the relaxation. You know, this summer we have, there are 2 famous singers traveling in the US and around the world for their music tour, Beyonce and Taylor Swift. And based on what I know, they have 50,000 people to 60, 70,000 people attending their concert. I never have an experience like that before. Anyone here have experience going to music concert that big? Can you raise your hand? Oh, really? I'm sure you had some awakening moment. That is why now you join us. I think it would be nice. Maybe today we will talk about true happiness. So I think this is something that we could invite you to share about that experience and the experience you have right now. Which one is giving you happiness that is long lasting and fulfilling? And so, yeah, our concert is very small, just only 40 people. And over Zoom, we don't have to remember the songs because I will share with you the song sheet. And these songs are not just for entertaining. And definitely they are not breakup songs. And these songs help us to come back to the present moment and touch what is beautiful, what is wholesome, what is peaceful. For many of us, we know that the lyrics of these songs are very simple. But if we practice them while singing and also in our daily life, we can really see the profound meaning and teachings behind it. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we invite you to sing with us. And these songs were written by different people, our teacher included, and many lay friends, as well as other monastics. Are you able to see this okay? Wonderful.
Yes.
I ask you to please, if you could mute yourself so that we don't create the echo while singing. Thank you. If there's a song that you would like to sing, please type in the chat box and we will sing in order. Request for number 2 and number 9. Okay. Two, 9, 1. Thank you, dear friends. So we will sing in that order, 2, 9, 1. Let us relax our body. The first song, breathing in, breathing out, is to remind us to get in touch with the flower element, the freshness, the solidity, the stillness, as well as the space we all have inside. It's a very comforting song to sing whenever we experience sadness or difficulties. It's a wonderful lullaby song. And at the same time, it's a beautiful song to sing when we walk in the park, enjoy driving in a car, to remind us to breathe in, breathe out, and be those elements. Please do the movements with us as you sing. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as a dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. And we can sing number 9, I Love Nature, written by Joe Riley. And I heard that Joe Riley has a new CD coming out. He has written many wonderful songs. One of those songs is also called mosquitoes. Oh, mosquitoes. What do we do when the mosquitoes bite us? That's the meaning of the song. It's a very understanding and lovely song about protecting mosquitoes. He is known as a very dedicated practitioner. He's BIPOC and recently received the Dharma Lamp in 2021 at Deer Park Monastery. And you can search for his name. I will write his name in the chat box, Joe Riley. In the last few years, he often lead retreats with Peggy Ward and Larry Ward. And I think he has produced one CD already. Most are children's songs. And his songs are all about reverence for life and protecting Mother Earth. And so this is one of the songs. The version of this song is much longer. This is only the chorus. And so we can just sing this. And thank you, Joe Riley, for writing beautiful songs and continue to do so. Bringing the practice in the songs that you write. This song also has movements. And it goes like this. Sister Đính, please sing with us. Yeah. I love nature, nature is cool. The forest is my classroom, the earth is my school. Trees are my teachers, animals are my friends, and on this school our life depends. I love nature, nature is cool. The forest is my classroom, the earth is my school. Trees are my teachers, animals are my friends, and on this school our life depends. And on this school our life depends. Yes. And last song, I have arrived, I am home. This is a gentle reminder for us to come back to the present moment, that our home is right here and right now. We may close our eyes if we already know this song and let the words sink deeply into us as we sing. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free, I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I dwell, in the ultimate I dwell. Thank you so much, dear friends, for singing with us. Yes, if you could send us an email to, if you want the song sheet, if you could send the email to yum6 or maybe after this, I will send the song sheet to everyone. Okay, I think we have your email address if you register. If Tanya, by the end of the weekly online session, could you please remind me? Yes, I'm sure I will forget. Thank you for the request. We're happy to provide you whatever we have, as long as it helps you to alleviate your suffering and bring you more joy. And so now, Sister Đính will offer us a guided meditation. And we have about 5 friends who are new here today, Sister Đính. And the rest of our friends have attended before. And so now we listen to Sister Đính and see and just follow her instruction, her sharing. Thank you so much.
Dear sister, dear friends, let us come back to our breathing. Recognize our breathing. And while following our breathing, we can close our eyes. Close your eyes and offer yourself a half smile. Smile can help to release any tension you're holding, maybe. Maybe you're holding some tensions, and smile. Offer a smile to yourself can help to release those. Keep your back straight but relax. Relax your shoulders. Enjoy the present moment. Knowing that you're alive. Nowhere to go, nothing to do right now. Just be present. Offer your opportunity to rest, to relax, to nourish yourself. During the session of sitting meditation, if you see that there are some thoughts arise in your mind, just smile to it and come back to your breathing. To be present for yourself and send love to yourself. I wish you a peaceful sitting meditation session. We'll start with 3 sounds of the bell. Listen, listen. This wonderful sound of the bell brings me back to my true home. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath from the beginning to the end. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath from the beginning to the end. Following in-breath, following out-breath, all the way through. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Breathing out, I relax my whole body. Aware of body, relaxing body. Breathing in, I'm getting in touch with the air. Breathing out, I smile with the air. Touching air, smiling. Breathing in, I'm getting in touch with clear stream. Breathing out, I smile to the clear stream. Clear stream, smiling. In touch with the clouds in the blue sky, I breathe in, smiling with the clouds in the blue sky. I breathe out, clouds, smiling. In touch with the trees, I breathe in, smiling to the trees. I breathe out, touching trees, smiling. In touch with the singing of birds, I breathe in, smiling to the singing of birds. I breathe out, singing birds, smiling. In touch with the flowers, I breathe in. Smiling to the flowers, I breathe out. Touching flowers, smiling. In touch with the laughing of the children, I breathe in. Smiling to the laughing of the children, I breathe out. Children laughing, smiling. Breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Dear friends, The session of CD meditation is over. You can open your eyes. Continue to maintain a smile to yourself and to everyone. When we can see our face on the stream, and then can massage yourself, can massage your head.
Dear friends, are you able to hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Wonderful.
Massage your face. Your shoulders. Your arms. Your back. If you have some drink with you, please enjoy it. It's really easy to forget to drink water when we are sitting in front of the computer. But please remember.
For some reason, most of you are frozen. I don't know if it's our internet, but we want to make sure that you're able to hear us okay. If you're able to hear us and see us okay, can you just type 1 in the chat box?
I don't know how to do that.
It's okay. Okay.
I can hear you and see you fine.
I
then-
can't too. I don't know how.
Great. Many of you type number 1. I don't know why you're frozen on our end. Okay, now you're no longer frozen. Good. Maybe the internet is understanding what I want. Dear respected Thầy, dear beloved friends, dear Sister Đính, I love sitting next to Sister Đính and feel her peaceful energy. It's like a very peaceful voice whispering to my ears. It's very peaceful, and I can just sit here and really practice what she was guiding us all to do. The practice that she did was a reminder for us to be aware of the conditions of simple air, the sound of the birds, the laughing of the children, and the flowers. I was visualizing a lotus flower. And then I did not just focus the lotus, but I also focus what is below the water level, under the roots, the mud. Oftentimes, I just focus on the lotus, whether that is pink, gold, but a lotus is more than that. We have to see the mud in the lotus. Right. I'd like to share with you a wonderful news, and that is, after many loving and hard work, the revised version of Chanting from the Heart is now in the bookstore. I want to share the screen with you so that you could see what it's like. Are you able to see the screen?
Mhm.
Yeah, wonderful. We do have a friend in here that works for Parallax, and her presence reminds me to share with you about these books. She did not ask me to share about it, by the way, because it has been like a dream come true for me. Sister Janduk, Sister Annabelle, the first Western Buddhist nun ordained by our teacher, who is a co-author of the book True Virtue, and a group of monastics, as well as friends, have helped to edit the chants, the sutras, the practices. Before it was only one volume, but included the ceremonies and daily practices. But perhaps after many years, we have learned that it's best to have two separate volumes. So now you could see the volume 1 is for the sutras and chants for recitation from the Plum Village community, and the second volume is the ceremonies and the practices. The reason why I wanted to share with you about this is because these two volumes are now gender neutral language. The language is more inclusive. There's no longer he or she in the discourse on love, but it's those who want to attain peace. And many other sutras too, and practices. And also, the revised version is perhaps more appropriate and relevant for our time. If you have the old copies, perhaps you could get the new copy and compare it for yourself. They include sutras translated by a teacher, many sutras that Plum Village use, and also include verses as well as ceremonies. If later on there is someone in your family who is not doing well, then there is a ceremony for that. There is also a wedding ceremony, a ceremony for the funeral, and it's very rich. This is a very valuable resource for those of you who attend the Sangha, or those of you who practice at home and want to deepen your practice. So I would like to share that with you. I think it just finished printing last month. And at Magnolia we had it, and so when I first saw it, it arrived at Magnolia, I opened it with so much gratitude in my heart. Yeah. I love to share happy news with you. So this is one of them for today. Okay, so for our friends who are joining us for the first time, I'd like to share with you that for this past few weeks, we have been contemplating together and learning from one another on the topic of the 5 mindfulness trainings, originally known as the 5 precepts, but our teacher wanted to use the word training to remind us that this is something that we practice on a daily basis. And anything that we train ourselves to do, we will be better at it. Whether that is playing a musical instrument, giving Dharma talk, public speaking, driving, being a work coordinator, practicing the mindfulness trainings. The more we train ourselves, the better we are at it. And over the last few days, I have been reading this book. Can you see it? Okay. It's upside down. Okay. It's the Mindfulness Survival Kit, 5 Essential Practices. Again, you can find this on parallax.org. I will type this in the chat box if you're interested in getting a copy. Parallax, PARALLAX.org. And you could also find the copies of Chanting from the Heart. And I find this book very helpful. And I think it would be nice if you could take some time to read this book together. This is like a book club. This is the book that we'll be focusing on. This book was published, I think, in 2013 or 14. Yeah. And yes, 2014. And we know that the 5 mindfulness trainings are a global ethic. Right? They're not dogmas. They're not absolute truth. They are practices to help us to touch life more deeply in the present moment, and a mirror for us to reflect on, to see how we are living our life. If we want to be happy, if we want to cause less suffering, just practicing the 5 mindfulness trainings alone, I think we can contribute to that. And each training can take a lifetime to practice. We practice one training at a time, and yet at the same time we are practicing all 5 trainings. I want to share a little.
I think they might have lost their internet connection. In a second, I drew back.
Thank you. I was talking without knowing I was muted. Okay. Let's see. I was able to do this. Okay, here you go. Okay, I think now, shall we resume? Can you hear me okay now?
Yep, everything seems good now.
Okay, let me repeat what I just said. Maybe today the session won't end until 7 p.m. Central Time, if this continues to happen. If we get kicked out again on the Zoom room, please just be patient with us. We will come back. If not, then Tanya, you help to finish the Dharma talk for me, okay? I know you're always on the ready mode. We don't just practice to be ready. We are already ready. I want to share that based on my small knowledge and little experience, I feel that the first mindfulness training is the foundation for all training because it's about respect and protecting and non-discrimination. Looking back in my life and see other people practicing, when we respect our own body, our own family, and there's perhaps we wouldn't consume food that is detrimental to the mind and the body. Before, we didn't respect, we didn't care about this body. That's why we drank alcohol nonstop, substance abuse, day after day. But now we learn to cherish this body, respect this body. We don't even want to touch one glass. Some of us have been sober for some time, right? Who here has been sober for a few years already? Can you raise your hand? Wow, so happy. Yes, this is because we have reverence for life. We respect ourselves. And when we respect a child, we don't see the child as object of our desire. There's no such thing as sexual abuse. But when we see other people, they are not object of our sexual desire. We see them as Buddhas to be. We see them as humans who want to live a very happy life, to live a life where they deserve to live. And we want them to be who they are, to live the life that they want to live. If they're in the LGBTQIA plus community, we are very happy for them. There's no need to tell them to be differently or to live differently. See, that's respect. That is to protect. We're saving lives when a child or a teenager or an adult comes to us and say, I'm trans. And we listen with open ears and we let them know that we are here for them, to support them, to let them know that there's no fear when you approach me and talk to me. We're saving lives, see, that's respect, that's reverence. And it's the same with speech. When we respect someone, something, we say words that inspire confidence, joy, and hope. If we see someone, I just recently heard this story from a very dear friend that said to me, I was wearing a pride shirt and I went out to town. And there was this person who said that, now I know who to kill or who to harm. You see, if we have respect, we wouldn't say such things. When we have love in our heart. But we know that there are many realities in life. We're not gullible. Yeah? We have to be vigilant and careful. And at the same time, when perhaps the Buddha inside of us will say something. We all have the Buddha inside of us. And the Buddha inside of us will respond differently each time. What would the Buddha in you say? If you're an ally, if you're in the community, LGBTQIA plus community, you wear that shirt, you go out to town and somebody say to you, now I know who to shoot, I know who to kill, I know who to harm. This is not a make-up story, it's a true story. And perhaps some of you experience this danger in your life. And may the Buddha in you be with you at that moment. The Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, the Bodhisattva Manjushri, who used the sword of wisdom to remove all these afflictions and ignorance. So reverence for life, the first mindfulness training, is the foundation, I see. And if you find other trainings are too difficult to practice, you can start with the first mindfulness training. We don't praise killing. For some people, they define killing perhaps differently than us. There are some who consider abortion as killing, right? But each situation, each experience is different. I was once very narrow-minded, close-minded. This is my confession for today. For those of you who attended this on a weekly basis, you have heard many of my confessions and heard of my personal weaknesses. But over the years of practice, transformation happened. I remember when I was young, or even adults in my late 20s or early 30s, okay, thank you. I don't know, I'm sharing my confession today. Maybe that's why the internet is just keeping being so unstable. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. So in my early 30s and late 20s, I was very close-minded in many areas. But in the last few years, at least 3 to 5 years, my views have changed, and that is thanks to the practice as well as to the stories I have heard. This is when I realized the power of stories. Being a nun, I hear many stories from friends, and they help me to change my perception and view. So in the past, whenever I heard of the word abortion, I blame the women. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, but you're frozen.
Okay. Yeah. So please bear with me. I won't mind to repeat. So yes, in my late 20s as well as early 30s, I was very close-minded. Whenever I heard of the word abortion or know of someone who had an abortion, I often blamed the women. I often ask myself, why don't they just practice the third mindfulness training and not to have sex? See how simple my mind was? That was how it was, yeah. Because I'm a nun, I practice celibacy, which is very easy. I was just focused on my own experience and thinking that other women should have the same experience that I have. Not just to be a nun, but at least, just don't have sex and you won't have abortion. But then I learned that no, Sister Boyim, it's not like that. I grew up in a family where this topic is never discussed. Yeah. And there are many reasons why I have this thought. Because to me, back then, abortion was an evil act. You're killing a life. And in Buddhism, we spoke about protecting life, right? So in me, there was this conflict. But then when I heard a story of someone in my family who have to end the pregnancy, and that's when I saw abortion differently. A family member of mine was perhaps 6 months pregnant, or 5 months, visited the doctor often. And the doctor shared to the couple that the child is not doing well. This child has heart problem. So if you gave birth to this child, within few hours the child will die, and your life will be at risk. Perhaps you will also die with the child. If you end this pregnancy, the chance for us to save you is much higher. So after much contemplation, the couple decided to end the pregnancy. And she shared with me the pain that she was in. She never experienced such pain. These are the stories I've never heard of. Or another story I heard directly. One day after my Dharma talk, a friend came to me and said, Sister Boy Nghiêm, I have something heavy in my heart that I've never shared with anyone before. Is it possible I could have some time with you? I said, yes, we can meet tomorrow. And she shared, I experienced an accident. I had an accident. And when I heard that, I was assuming what would she would say next. And it was very true to my assumption. And that she had an abortion. And when she came to the monastery, there were many young children. So that brought up a lot of emotions in her. She thought to herself, if she were to give birth, her child would be at this age right now. It was very difficult for her to see the young children in the retreat. And she wanted to share that to someone. And perhaps I was the first person in her life to share this story with. And I could see the pain that she was carrying, the tears, the love, the care. So these two stories helped me to see abortion differently. She knew that she would not be able to take care of this child. Could you imagine the fear that a woman has to go through all alone, deciding to do this, going through this whole process alone, unable to share to anyone, even to her ex-partner, even to her own mother, to her own family? Could you imagine what her heart has to be like, what her body has to go through? I'm sharing this not to advocate anything. I'm sharing this as a reminder to myself to respect the decisions that one has to make in their life, and to give them that right, that freedom. Because each situation is different. And instead of blaming, judging, I now have compassion. And that is the great transformation for me. And I hope all of us here, you have that too. I know you have that. And perhaps some of you experience that difficult time when you have to decide to end the pregnancy. And now you're living your best. You're living for your child. That child is still inside. That child is still there. And I'm sure there were days, many days, you think of the child. And you are doing your very best to take care of yourself. And that's also a way to take care of your own child. Even if this child never had a chance to breathe a fresh air. And so the decisions that we make, if the foundation of that decision is compassion, if the foundation of our decision is based on compassion, much self-reflection, care, and reverence for life, then rest assured that is the right decision. And so I just want to say thank you to our friends for sharing with me these stories. Because if it wasn't for these stories, I would still think that abortion is an evil act. And I would blame it to the women. Let us listen to one sound of the bell. It is now 5:13 already. I thought I would share the first mindfulness training for only 5 or 10 minutes. And I went on for quite longer than I thought. So today I don't think I have time to start on the second mindfulness training like I wish. This is what happened when you have the tendency to speak too long. So perhaps I'd like to invite the circle up for us to share. I will end the live stream. So for those of you who join us on YouTube, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Sister Nghiêm will be with all of you again on the 29th. Next week we have the retreat. And after that, I will continue with the second mindfulness training.